Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am so happy you found us, and if you're back for a second, third, or more time, thank you. I am glad you have come back, and I'm excited about today's video. Second time I filmed it. I've told you I've been having camera issues, and it wasn't focusing. I think today I fixed it. It's, settings, little fingers, push buttons they shouldn't. Hopefully today is a good take on this video. I'm super excited about it because today we are taking all those weird items you saw in the opening, and I'm going to talk about adding texture to your paper crafts, your fabric, and even some ideas for adding texture to knitting and crocheting. So let's get into this, but before we do, have you subscribed? Come on, guys. You keep coming back. It would greatly help me out. So do me a favor. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and click the little bell. So let's do this. Okay, so we are talking texture. How do you add texture to your journal pages, your mixed media, your planners? What can you do to bring that texture and that interest? Because texture is kind of what keeps it moving, makes people want to keep looking, keeps you interested, believe it or not. So what are some ideas? These are all things you have around your home. You will be able to find them, use them in everyday life, or pretty much in everyday life, and they won't break the bank, which is a huge thing right now with prices going sky high. First thing is the bottom of a shoe. I mean, come on. Look at the pattern on this shoe. Isn't that crazy? That would make such a cool stamp, interest on the middle of a page real lightly. Do it darker, maybe make a flip out, maybe make some tags to mark some big events in your planner, or all over a canvas for a mixed media piece. But do you know what's really cool? This also translates onto fabric as well. Awesome, awesome. Check the bottom of your shoes. You'll be surprised. Another thing is basically what we all have in our kitchens, right? These little Scrubby Pads. They make excellent texture, excellent movement, just awesome for pages, for tags, journaling cards, anything you can think of, paper crafting, fabrics as well, mixed media planners. These guys are amazing. Another thing along that same line is Q-tips. Q-tips, guys, use them. Makeup sponges. These little guys will give you texture. They'll give you a different look. Paintbrushes. Paintbrushes, if you just lightly put some paint on there, will give you a cool look. Spoolies, that if you do your eyebrows, do a spoolie on a page, on a canvas, on some fabric, you'll get a really cool texture there. Leaves. Guys, go out in nature. Grab some nature. Grab some sticks, some rocks, and some leaves and use them. Look at the pattern on the back of the sleeve. Look at the pattern on the back of the sleeve. How cool is it? And you know what? It's got texture. It's got ridges that you can feel. So when you take this and press it into your ink or your paint and then press it on your canvas or your page or your fabric, you're going to see a leaf, and that is so cool. Other things you can use are lace, You can use Velcro, the fuzzy side of Velcro. You can use fingernail files to rough up pages, rough up the center of a page, rough up the edges, rough up your fabric. It's a great way to add some texture. Now, I also talk about texture in knitting and crocheting. What the heck am I talking about? How can you do that? Take fabric, cut it into strips, knit it into the pattern. Lace, same way, knit it in. Ribbon, knit it in. This will all give your knitting, whether it's a blanket or a hat or whatever you're making, a pop of surprise to it. Really cool way to add some texture. Also, they have hair jewelry now. You braid your hair and then you can clip on this jewelry. Clip it into your knitting. It'll add it as, that little bling, maybe, it'll surprise people. It really will, and it'll look amazing. Another way to add texture to our paper crafts is to layer paper or layer your fabrics. Use your die cuts, use your appliques, layer those on fabric or paper. Also on Add your buttons, add your other little embellishments like little jewels or little, like the butterfly there. See how layering the paper looks so good. Also inking. Inking is another way to add great texture. And look at this. The back is just got some ink hit and miss on there. And look how good that looks. And look how much interest and texture it adds. This is a great way to add texture. It doesn't cost. You already have the ink. Use it. Don't be afraid to, besides doing the edges, smudge it on that page, smudge it on that cover, use it so you get the most out of it. But guess what? This will also work on fabric. Have you tried inking the edges of your fabric? Have you tried adding some interest to the center? Try it. You will be surprised. And of course, you can always add buttons, jewels, stuff like that, like I said. Don't discount odd things like, I don't know if you can see this, like skewers. Dip the tips. Great way to add texture and interest. Like I said, wire, you can knit wire into a creation. You can knit wire into a creation. You can use it to make a pattern, drag it through some paint, and, drag it across a paper. Okay, so maybe you don't have alcohol inks, but do you have alcohol? Throw alcohol in on some paint and see what happens. It's a cool effect. So don't be afraid to experiment with it. We did a video last year, I think, or maybe even a few months ago. They all run together, where we mixed baking soda with paint to make texture. Check that video out. I'll link it, or I'll put the card above, but add household things to create different textures to your paints. It's a really cool way. And of course, don't forget good old standbys like the little fuzz balls that you can buy, to add on fabric and other things as well. So guys, I hope I gave you a lot of creative and inspirational ideas for adding texture to your paper projects, your fabric projects, knitting and crocheting, and anything else that you can think of. Use them there too. You'll be surprised. And like I said, they're all pretty much in our households already, and that way we're saving money and don't have to go buy expensive crafting supplies. Thanks for being here today, guys. And again, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and that little bell. I'll see you next time, and hopefully this is in focus. Bye.